is also on international finance, so perhaps we'll overlap. Mine is a bit more of a common touch on it. There comes a time in politics, much like in life, where it pays to take a step back and take stock of the situation. To stop what you are doing and do not rush into things, but actually think. I have found that the more life experiences you have, the more you'll begin to understand politics. And I have unfortunately found that it is these bad life experiences that will teach you the most. Too often in life, we rush into things without regard for the outcomes. We do not think of the bad bits. We do it on the spur of the moment. This is specifically true for men and women of action, of vigor, of sheer determination. Normally, these decisions made on a whim will only affect us as the individual. But politics is not like that. One small decision will affect the lives of millions. So you must step back and take stock before you do anything. And I'm sure many of you are aware, our party leader, Mr. Yerbury, recently put out a post, and I will read it word for word, or else it will ruin the rest of this. It is frightening to have to say this, but sometimes when people want to screw you out of money or free work, they will engage in this practice called lying. A simple tweet, but a true tweet. And I'm sure many will think, wow, it's bloody obvious. Of course you're going to be lied to. Some great political figure this is. And you are right. It is so obvious that we fall for it again and again, but not always through politics. How many of you in your personal lives have fallen for the false promises and empty words? How many of you good men and women have been betrayed? You have been deceived. You have been lied to. That voice in your head as you lay awake, it tells you you are being deceived and you ignore it. You ignore it because you are desperate for it to become the reality. A part of you knows that it will not happen. You do this not out of ignorance, and certainly not out of stupidity, but out of desperation, because you have been promised everything you ever wanted, whether it be personal or political. You know, remigration is inevitable. You ignore those red flags. You ignore the advice and concerns from those around you. You kid yourself. You take yourself for a mug. You do this until the whole illusion is inevitably shattered, and you find yourself in a worse position now than when you jumped on the sinking ship. This is as much applicable to life as it is to politics. Not everybody has your best interests at heart. Not everything you want in life will come true. You will be betrayed and you will receive nothing without sacrifice. When somebody offers you everything and does not ask nothing in return, run away. Do not be deceived. It is not true. You always have to give in return. British politics is now one of the most defining points in its history. Not just because of the path that lies before us, but because of the snake oil salesmen who hide around every corner, ready to pounce, ready to profit, ready to poison. Us in the NRP, and us gathered here in this room today, we are not here because we see ourselves as intellectually superior, and we are not here because we see ourselves as morally superior. We are here because we have been betrayed again and again. We have been deceived, we have been betrayed, we have been spat upon by the establishment repeatedly. We have had enough and we have taken stock. We see these parties that claw at our door, attempting to lead us, if not drag us, down the same old Thatcherite path. It does not take a genius to see that England is dying, nor does it take a rocket scientist to see that we are en route to a destination where there is no way back. This is not a game. There is no restart button. There is no second chance. There is no sequel. This is it. There is only one England, and when it is gone, there is no getting it back. It is now or it is never. We fight or we lose. Every man, every woman, every child, everybody will do their part. We are as much united in blood as we are in spirit. We either rise up or we perish. It is fight or it is flight. And for those that choose flight, This is an enemy you can't run from. You can move town, you can move city. It does not matter. It will follow you. You must stand. A good quote I often like to use is this: if you had fought like a man, then you needn't have died like a dog. The NRP is the only fighting chance we have, and I'm sure some will think, what about Restore? What about Reform? And God forbid, what about the Conservatives? Well, I'll tell you why. These parties of capitalists, they serve international finance. They serve the enemy. This rootless clique of people, this unholy alliance of bankers, of finances, of capitalists, of usurers. They are people with loyalty to no land, to no people. From London to Paris to Berlin to Tel Aviv to Wall Street, New York, it does not matter. They leech themselves onto your nation. Their weapon of choice is capitalism. They use it to infiltrate your governments and live as parasites on the people. Their God is money. Greed is their creed. They exploited your parents. They are exploiting you, and they intend to exploit your children too. Britain was once an industrial powerhouse. It is now being crushed by finance. We have nothing left. It was all done by design. They went into the third world, into Africa, into India, Asia, Bangladesh, the whole lot of it. They exploited the hordes of foreign labour. They enslaved the people in these nations, turning Britain into a consumer nation in turn, a nation reliant on imports, a nation subservient to finance, a nation of consumers. It was all done for one reason and one reason only. So these capitalists can make fatter profits at the expense of the working class. Capitalism breeds immigration. It is an ideology of profit where numbers matter more than blood, than people, than anything. Capitalism demands consumers. Capitalism demands mass unskilled labour. Capitalism demands exploitation. There is more to life than money. There is more to life than status. We must reject the materialist ideology of capitalism and embrace a third option. An option neither capitalist nor communist. An option that puts the people first. An option that feeds the hungry, houses the homeless, but does not do this at the expense of the successful. We do not want communism. We do not want those who achieve to be punished. In fact, they should be rewarded. If you go out, men and women of ambition, if you achieve, you should be rewarded. No one should be able to take this from you. The Marxist ideology of communism is the other side of the exploitive coin. It is an ideology of envy, of greed, of hate. They do not seek to help the working class. They do not care about any of you. They do this out of hatred because they hate the wealthy. They want to steal. They want to take that which they have not earned. We must build a socialism of the people, not the class. An equality of opportunity, but not an equality of outcome. A society built on hard work, on duty, on honour, on blood. A combination of the good and a rejection of all the evils. We must crush the shackles of finance and rid ourselves of the claws of capitalism. We must lift up not just the common man, but every man. We must secure the future and existence of our people.